Peace. What's good, family? On this Friday night. I see y'all. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Gemro. P Flat. Trap the Dawn. I see you. Leah Sawyer. What's good? Harry Cannon. A1 Drizzy. John Hall Sr. Dottie's Missing Gates. I see you. Juan Martinez. Eli Green. Terrell McMillan. What's up, Fambo? Yeah, we got a good one tonight. Scar Snapman. Hey. That's right. Get up in here. Flat Power, Sylvester. DC tapping in. That's what it is. See hard, right? Nah, I did that. I did that. Make sure you put that like button. Hit that share button. Let people know that we live right now. About to put you up on some shit. Maybe you knew or maybe you didn't know. About to find out. Get on in here. Yeah. I see you, Savannah, Georgia in the house. I know that, Sylvester. They know it too, but they still try. What's good, people? Welcome back to the God Power with Lord Jamar. I am Lord Jamar. It's great to be with y'all on this Friday evening of April 4th, making today's math culture freedom. Well, a lot of motherfuckers talk about we do it for the culture. We do it for the culture. Do you even know what culture is? What is culture? Let's do it for the culture. Culture is one's way of life. A lot of shit y'all doing is not cultural. Trust me. It's actually anti-cultural. How about that? It's actually going against the true way of life. Because the true way of life is going according to nature. Okay? And when you go according to nature, you're in one and in tune with God. Oh, my goodness. Yep. And when you live your true culture, you are free. Your dome is free. You free your dome. We free the dumb. Peace to the gods and earths. Okay, listen. Tonight, fuck all the current events and all of that type of shit. Oh, well, first of all, Teacher Maria, what's good, Teacher Maria? She said, peace, Lord Jamar. Did you see my DM on IG about Ja Rule School in Ghana? No, I didn't, but I will check it out. I wasn't sure if people like you were going to be up, actually, because I intended on doing this interview earlier today, so a lot of my overseas people can be a part of it. But some shit came up that I had to do. So yeah, I pushed it back. So I'm happy to see you here, Teacher Maria. Thank you. I know it's late over there. So listen, that's right. Like and subscribe, people. As you see in the title, today my guest will be the star of, did you know there was a Marcus Garvey movie on Amazon Prime? Did you even know that? Okay, because I didn't necessarily know that, but if you don't know, now you know. There's a Marcus Garvey movie on Amazon Prime called Mosiah. Okay, and I encourage all of you to check it out. I put the link in the description, so you could click that link and easily go to Amazon Prime and check out Mosiah. And we have the writer and star of the film here with us today. And listen, with no further ado, let's just get to it. Yes, the writer and star of Mosiah, the Marcus Garvey movie that's on Amazon Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the God Pod, Samuel Lee Fudge.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you.
How you, bro?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm great, bro. It's good to meet you. It's good to talk to you. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here.
It's an honor, brother. You already know I can't tell you enough, brother. It's an honor, man. Thank you.
So before we really talk about the movie and stuff like that, let's get into a little bit of who you are. Where are you from? What's your background? How did you get into acting and writing? And and we'll get to the Marcus Garvey part, but let's hit that first.
Yeah, man. So I'm from Miami, Florida. Like I told you, I'm from the real Miami. The trenches. What we like to call it.
What's your cultural background?
African American, as far as I know. African American. Grew up with a single mother. The same story, same old same. I was just blessed at an early age to recognize and I guess uniquely understand the social issues that were going on around me based off of experience. I just recall being young and having to move place to place, us not being able to stay in an apartment because we would get evicted because my mom couldn't afford to pay rent. My mom working multiple jobs and me and my little sister having to stay with different people while she was doing that, or me having to hold down the house at night while she works doubles and overtime and all this stuff. So to all this shit, it made me curious. I grew a curiosity for one, why are things how they are? And secondly, how can I fix these things? Because I don't like it, So that was that. And of course you have, the typical gun violence, gang violence, all that stuff, the very same things that's been polluting our inner city communities for years, for centuries. So just wanting, having an understanding of what was going on and wanting to resolve those things, fortunately, I had relatives in my life who were pursuing, at the time she was pursuing politics. She went to a HBCU, my cousin Alicia, she went to a HBCU Spelman here in Atlanta, Georgia. And seeing her graduate changed my life. That was the first time I seen Black people of esteem. I seen Black people be celebrated. And these were young Black people. That was the first time I saw what a kente cloth was. I just saw things that I didn't see in my everyday regular life where I was from. And instantly I wanted to be just like that. And graduated cum laude, summa cum laude. I can't even say it, but summa cum laude.
Mm-hmm.
And from going from the HBCU, she served as a state representative here in Georgia and Atlanta. And she was the youngest at the time, youngest Black female at the time to do that. So all that inspired me, brother. It made me, it fueled that curiosity for me to be a solution to my community and the things that were going on. And so I started cultivating myself, did research. I learned about, of course, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, W.E.B. Du Bois. And then I came across Marcus Garvey. And what stuck out the most about Marcus Garvey was this idea and philosophy of don't pity yourself, don't feel bad, get out of this lazy state and pick yourself up by the bootstraps and get whatever it is out in society that you want. You can get it and bring it back to yourself and you could be someone. That shit meant a lot because my father wasn't a full-time father in my life. And so Garvey somewhat served as a father figure to me. I yearned his words. His words were medication for me because he was telling me things that I wish that a father would tell me. And, so I thrived off of that, man. And I think that gave me the tools and essentials I needed to be resolved to my community. Like I said, I knew these things were wrong. I knew selling drugs was wrong. I seen prostitution. I seen all these things and I knew it was wrong. But Garvey gave me the courage, to want to be a voice. So very early on, I say even like 10, 11, man, I was already a voice in my community, just gathering my friends and us going around the different doors in the neighborhood and enlightening different people on what was going on. You know, how can we be a change? And this went on with me up until college. I always wanted to be an actor. Why I wanted to be an actor is because on television, I seen these images of Black people, Black families that I didn't see in real everyday life. I saw Family Matters, where you see a wholesome family eating dinner at a table. The kids look happy, they look hearty, opposed to me being hungry and curious. You know, I seen a father in household, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I seen a father, uncle, take care of this young Black male from the inner city and gave him a life that, you know, he didn't have prior. I seen that he had siblings and they were happy and they were wealthy. You know, it was just so many different images that I saw on TV at a young age that made me say, you know what? I don't know how they're doing this, but I want to be on the other side of the screen, and I want kids one day to feel just like how I feel watching these images. And so I'd say early on, brother, I say around like 9 or 10, I correlated the two of acting and being an activist. Yeah, so I knew someday that I would be both.
It's funny how activist has act in the word.
True. Most definitely. And so from there, brother, I always had the interest of acting, not just to entertain, but the interest of acting to be a influence. I wanted to dig deep into how to make people feel a certain way, how to get people inspired and motivated. I wanted to make you cry from my any performance that I do. I want you to cry. I want you to feel rejuvenated. If you're down, I want you to feel rejuvenated. If you're whatever, I just wanted you to feel. And so my education in acting moving forward was strictly in that, just me mastering the art of making you feel a type of way.
Now, is this something you did on your own, or you classically, you know, did you go to acting school? Are you trained?
Yeah. So I have my bachelor's degree in acting. I went to Payne College in Augusta, Georgia. And then I went on to get my MFA from SCAD, which is a art school here in the South.
What is MFA for those who don't know?
Yeah, so it's a Master of Fine Arts.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I went and got my Master of Fine Arts from SCAD, and from SCAD, man, they catapulted me into the whole world of theater. So yes, I am classically trained, Shakespearean, Greek theater, French theater. Oh man, I do it all.
I not to cut you off, but I felt that you probably had some sort of theater background. The way in the movie, I think the first time we see your character actually speaking, he's on stage and he's in front of a crowd of people, and he's giving a, you know, arousing, dramatic. He's trying to, you know, rally the forces, and just the way that you were speaking, and, you know, you could tell you had that, you know, hit the back of the room type of projection that they teach you in theater and all that type of shit. And I could tell that you were a real actor. That's all I could say. Like, oh, and real quick, to address some of the people in the comments, yes, there's a fucking fake Miami, Collins and all that type of shit by the beach. That's not the real Miami. That's the fake Miami. He's talking about the Miami that they don't show you on TV. Okay, with that's in the hood and all that type of shit.
First 48. You see the first 48.
The first 48 Miami. Exactly. That's the real Miami. Okay. So somebody was like, "What? So there's a fake Miami?" Yes, there's a fake Miami.
That's like New York in the Manhattan, and you got everything else. You know what I mean?
So you acting, activism. Where does the writing fit in?
Man, the writing came in, and I got tired. And I'm sure you can relate, being an actor as well, brother. I got tired of being in shit that just didn't resonate or hit with me. You know what I mean? I got tired of playing fucking gangster number one and thug number one. I was too talented and skillful for that. I got tired of, and if I wasn't gangster number one and thug number one, I was slave number one. If I wasn't slave number one, I was poor, sad Black boy from the hood who had no way out, and there was a white savior. So I got tired of that, bro. And I desperately wanted to tell narratives that my people could be proud of. you know, from all walks of life, Black people from all walks of life. I wanted to create stuff that Black people could be proud of. They can watch, they can see, they can feel something from it, and they can go out and change not just their lives, but the world around them. You know what I mean? And that's where writing came in for me. The first film that I ever wrote is called Lotus. And that's about a young man from the inner city who chooses education as his way out. And with that decision, you see the sacrifices he has to leave behind, it being his peers, his best friend, his companion. But you see the backlash of that, just the community, more specifically the inner city community being against that decision and not fully understanding his reasoning for want to better his life. And so, and I like to emphasize the importance of choices in my work and making the right choices, because life is about choices. One wrong choice can ruin your life. It's done. One good choice can be the best choice of your life and take your life to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? But me wanting to write, it's just me wanting to take control of not just my career, but also the narratives of Black people. I got tired of seeing us in a negative light, man, and I wanted to be a voice to show us something different, you know?
Let me ask you, when was the first time that someone either told you or you realized that, God damn it, I do look like motherfucking Marcus Garvey? Holy shit. I look like Marcus Garvey like a motherfucker. Like when I first saw you come on the screen, I said, God damn. Like whoever cast this guy, like he was meant to play this. And then I wasn't sure if he was really Jamaican or not, or was you one of these English imports? I don't like this whole English invasion. I'm gonna let you know. Of Black actors coming in, taking American roles. So I'm happy to hear that you are a foundational Black American. But when was the first time somebody said, yo, bro, you know you look like Marcus Garvey, right? Or did you just notice it on your own? Or, right, did your thoughts, because you know how your thoughts can mold the physical, everything that starts in the mind. Were you so much into Marcus Garvey that you may have mentally molded yourself to look like him?
Later on, after the film, definitely, or leading up into the film, definitely. The mustache became my thing. I used to rock my hair low. Just now it's like it doesn't even matter, you know, because I'm Garvey. Especially now that people all over, you know, and even in Jamaica, they recognize me as Marcus Garvey, or the spirit of Marcus Garvey. That's what they called me. But early on, it was me, brother. Early on, that's what attracted me to Marcus Garvey. Honestly, at first, like
it was like, yo. And wait, how old were you though? Looking like Marcus Garvey? Was you
I think it dawned on me,
little kid?
Yeah, like 10, 11, because I was chubby. I was chubby as a kid. And so here I am seeing this giant of a man, but short in stature, 5'6", 5'5", stocky, dark skin. I was like, damn, this is me. And you know, at the time I'm being called names and being picked on and bullied and all that. But here go this man who the world admires. You know, that was my role model. Mostly at that time, mostly because I was able to connect and resonate to physically. And it's crazy because I was in Jamaica a few months back for the first time, and seeing all the statues in Jamaica of Marcus Garvey, that shit was scary. It blew my mind because I felt like I was literally looking at myself on these statues. So yeah, brother, it's crazy.
So when you were over there, not to cut you off, but when you were over there, I mean, you look so much like him. Were some people coming up to you in reverence?
Yeah, absolutely.
Selassie, I know.
Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. That adds to the responsibility. You know, that shit changed my life. Just that part changed my life. For just people now considering me the Marcus Garvey, or even close to that. Like, that's crazy to me. And so with that came responsibility of me furthering the cause and the purpose, you know. But most recently, like here in Atlanta, we had a we had a plaque unveiling last week, matter of fact, of Marcus Garvey, plaque unveiling, and I actually performed as Marcus Garvey for the first time ever in live.
Wow.
And so, bro, it was people crying. People who were. There was one guy. He was afraid to like even look at me as I was doing the speech. And he, our executive producer for the film, she was actually at the event. And I don't know how the conversation happened, but he ended up telling her that he had to leave, and it was just scaring him how much of Marcus Garvey I was, or how much I reminded him, or it was just freaking him out because it was too damn real. But people don't know, and I tell people all the time, bro, like, bro, I actually, like, before playing anything Marcus Garvey, man, I pray to Marcus Garvey before anything. Like, I actually call on the spirit of Marcus Garvey to take over my body and use me as a vessel to say whatever it is that he wants to say. That's like a ritual for us. Like, we collaboratively come together. Like, I'm Samuel Lee Fudge any other day, but when it's time for me to be Garvey, man, we in one. So I'm not surprised that people do feel that way, you know, because I asked for it to happen. I asked God to remove me, take me out, let Garvey reveal himself through me. And yeah.
If you're just joining us, we are talking to Samuel Lee Fudge. He is the star of the Marcus Garvey movie that's available right now on Amazon Prime called Mosiah. Okay, y'all need to check this movie out. This is not the type of movie that they're gonna have on the front page and all that. You gotta actually type this shit in and make the shit pop up. But guess what? I made it easier for y'all. The link is in the description right now, so you can just click that link and it'll take you straight to the flick. So how do we get this movie made? First of all, I wouldn't. What would you call this? This is not a full-length movie per se. No. It's almost like a docudrama. Would you call it? Like what would we call this?
Based on the life of a short film based on the life of.
But it's a little longer than a short. How long does this run?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a full length hour and a half per 2 hours, but 40 minutes to me makes it a little longer than a short. That's why I don't really know where to categorize it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I definitely feel like if you had a bigger, but first of all, how much did you guys make the movie for? If you don't mind.
I can't even remember the budget. I know, if I'm not mistaken, I heard close to 50K.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's
50K. That's like you did a lot with 50K. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to filmmaking, hell yeah, 50K. That was yeah. Yeah. See, now if you guys had just a couple of million, you know what I mean? If you had a couple of million, you would have been doing the parade scenes and all of that with the uniforms and all of that type shit, with the cars and all of that type of shit.
Absolutely. On 125th, brother. On 125th.
On 125th, right? But hang on. A lot of times these things lead to the bigger, you know what I mean? This be the foundation, and then you do the bigger project. So absolutely. You wrote it, and who was the brother that directed it? What was his name?
His name is Gerard.
Gerard. Okay.
Yep. He's based in San Antonio, Texas.
All right. It was good. You know, to me, the two people that stood out in the film were you and the sister that played your wife.
Yeah.
She was
Britt Scales. Yeah.
She was phenomenal. Everybody did well, but you guys were really the standouts where you could just tell, like, y'all acting game was on a next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's just talk a little bit about the film, just Marcus Garvey, because you know, for some people they're not necessarily educated on who Marcus Garvey was and what he tried to do. Why don't you educate the people on who Marcus Garvey was and why he was so important?
Yeah, I'll start off with the slogan on the film cover. Before Malcolm, before Martin, there was Marcus Garvey. Damn, man, where do I start?
For Elijah.
Yeah, man, Marcus Garvey, he came over to the United States from Jamaica, and started a mass black movement.
What year was this?
Oh man, I can't remember exactly what year he came over. But shortly after he came, he started a national tour. He went state to state, just preaching. Well, I got to go further back than that. He was inspired by Booker T. Washington's Up from Slavery. And so that inspired him. It made him realize that black people all over the world was experiencing the same struggle.
But wait, hang on. Marcus Garvey was inspired by a foundational Black American? That's what you're telling me? I'm just saying. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So it inspired him. While Garvey was over in Costa Rica, he experienced some I'd say some absurd circumstances, very much so the same circumstances that he experienced in Jamaica, or that he saw the black experience was in Jamaica. So coming across Up from Slavery was inspiring, motivational to him, because he saw that the black struggle was universal. It wasn't just regional or in certain geographics of the world. It was damn near everywhere. And so he actually reached out to Booker T. Washington, and Booker T. Washington encouraged him to come over to the States. And Garvey agreed, but before he can get here, Booker T. Washington had passed away. And so, but it didn't stop his journey. It didn't stop the mission, the purpose, the cause. So he founded the UNIA in Harlem. That was the second one. The first one was over in Kingston, and I just started uplifting.
UNIA was the United Negro Improvement Association.
Yep. So yeah, man, and just started from ground zero, brother. Just going state to state and preaching and getting across his philosophies. Marcus Garvey was the first at that time to tell black people that, hey, we should be separate and not to look away from inclusion and integration, but we should be separated and segregated. We should have our own. Why are we asking and pleading and begging to be included into a society that doesn't like us or doesn't want us to be better than them? Why? Let's have our own. We should have our own. And that was the message. And just going back to even what I said when I was telling my story of growing up, he taught black people how to take pride in themselves. He taught black people how to empower themselves through finances, black enterprise, put into our own. Marcus Garvey had many of businesses. A lot of people don't know Marcus Garvey had a doll factory, man, that gave black children this image of black dolls. Prior to that, we know it was white baby dolls.
Now, see, I never heard this thing right here. Marcus Garvey had a doll factory, really?
Doll company. Yep, that created
black dolls.
Black dolls.
But not the insensitive coon type of dolls, you know, those mammy dolls those white people used to make. Yeah,
pickaninny and all that. No, man. Oh, man, of course not.
Does anybody have an example of one of these dolls? Do they exist still? Like, seriously, have you ever seen one?
I have never seen one. I'm sure though, with my resources now, I can easily find one. Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll definitely do that and send a picture.
You need to do that. Yeah, like I would be, because we were so negatively stereotyped, especially at that time, with some ooga booga, big lips and the bugged out eyes. It would be curious to me to see what Marcus's envision was in a doll to help psychologically repair a lot of that bullshit that they were trying to do to us at that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be very interesting to see what that doll looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can make that happen, brother Marcus, make that.
As soon as we get off, all I got to do is probably send text messages to 2 people, and I'm sure I can get it just from 2 people.
Yeah, that would be real dope. Even just a picture. I'd love to see a picture.
Most definitely, man.
Go ahead. You still talking?
Yeah. Any black man, people, even the red, black, and green flag, the Pan-African flag, we rock it now in contemporary times, and it's pop culture to us now. But a lot of people don't know that Marcus Garvey created that flag. At the time, there was a song out and it was called I'm paraphrasing, but every nation has a flag but the coon. So Marcus Garvey heard this, and this inspired him to create a flag that was universal for us. And what the Pan-African flag represents is Black people all over the world is one, united, not just geographically this Black and this Black, or I'm African, I'm Jamaican, I'm this. And no, that Pan-African flag represents us as one, it's one unity. And so people don't even know that came from Marcus Garvey as well. But we're talking about a man who led millions of Black people. He was a self-proclaimed leader for Black people all over the world. Like just going back to like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, these are great people, great individuals. They did so much stuff for our people, right? But they were leaders of the America, Black Americans. We're talking about Marcus Garvey being a leader to Black people all over the world. He was our sole representative. And going back to Malcolm X's parents were actually a couple of Marcus Garvey's most loyal Garveyites. His dad, Earl Little, was a president of the UNIA division. And so people don't know
Elijah Muhammad was a Garveyite.
Wow. Yeah.
Like so, a lot of the tenets of the Nation of Islam are straight out of like from Noble Drew Ali, from the Moorish Science Temple, and from Marcus Garvey. Yeah.
And so that's in short, bro. I can go on all day, but in short, that's who Marcus Garvey was. He was a giant. He was so much of a giant and so much of an impact for our people. His legacy was purposefully and intentionally tarnished and broken down. So that's why we have today Black people still not knowing who Marcus Garvey is, because it was intentional. That was a purposeful thing. And with that came the trial, the bogus charge of mail fraud that ultimately took him down. But yeah.
I, on my second album, In God We Trust, had a song called Black Star Liner, featuring Red Fox. Black Star Liner, it's the Black Star Line. Everybody come aboard and free your mind. That was my attempt to try to just subtly introduce something about Marcus Garvey in a contemporary way, try to make it cool, make it hip hop. If you never heard of the Black Star Line, well, maybe you will, you know what I mean? Ask questions and all of that type of shit. And I just felt like, yeah, that Marcus Garvey was somebody that needed to be, a light needed to be shined on, you know? So that was my little doing, without, you know, I ain't look like him like that. See, I wanted to do, when I was young, I wanted to do the Bob Marley story. Okay, when I can see that.
I can see that.
Nah, people used to come up to me in airports and shit like that. Are you one of Bob's children? Like dead ass. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, timing is everything. So first of all, be glad that this happened at a time where you really could play.
Yeah.
Marcus, you see?
Yeah.
At the age he was and all of this type of shit, like this is perfect. Like the timing is perfect. And you can still continue to play him. Like, how old are you right now? How old are you?
33.
33. Damn.
I got that whole range. I can play him 20 all the way up, bro. To
all the way up.
Yeah.
Damn, you only a year older than my son. God damn. Shit. So in the movie, right? And I was kind of glad you showed this because, you know, it's kind of controversial in ways if you think about it. There's a scene where Marcus actually goes and meets with the Klan. Now Elijah did this too. But he went and met with the Klan, which a lot of people, you know, would almost look at as crazy.
During that time, yeah.
Right. Why do you think he did that? And what was the purpose of that?
Oh man, it was I can emphasize two sole reasons. For one, shoot, the Klan didn't want us here no more than Garvey wanted us to be here. You know what I mean? They had a common interest, and staying segregated, keeping things segregated, keeping things to our own. Blacks have their own, they have their own. That was the biggest thing. He wanted to learn his enemy. I mean, that's the biggest thing. If you're gonna have an enemy and you're gonna try to out defeat your enemy, you have to learn your enemy and know where they come from mentally. And so, yeah, man, the biggest thing was the common interest. He didn't want us here no more than they wanted us here. The second thing was during that time, there were different quarrels between the Klan and the African legions all over. The clans were kidnapping UNIA presidents. There were shootouts going on. And so part of that was just trying to come up with a resolve to bring some of that down.
So, okay, so at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have this Pan-Africanism, and a lot of Black people have embraced Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
But as of recent, there's been a lot of study that shows that a lot of that Pan-Africanism, as far as saying that we were stolen from Africa as a whole people and all of that type of shit, that a lot of that was not actually true. That a lot of us were already here. Yes, some of us were imported from Africa and all of that. But a lot of us were already here. So there's actually a segment of people that would contend that someone like Marcus Garvey was being used to try to get us to go to Africa to dispossess our own land, because white people were actually the ones saying, go back to Africa, because they fucking hated Black people and shit like that. Yeah. I'm one, I go where the truth takes me. So I don't try to, I've learned not to necessarily fully romanticize anybody. But what if that was the case? What if he didn't necessarily know, but what if he was being actually wanting Black people to go to Africa, or believe that we was from there and saying, let's go home? What if he could have been misled about that? What do you think about that? Is that something you ever considered?
No. That'd be interesting though. Definitely interesting to look into. Now that you put it on my mind, I definitely want to consult with my mentors on Garveyism and pitch that out there to see what their response would be. But that's definitely an interesting perspective, and I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, it makes no fucking sense to come over here, have all of these people here, these so-called Indians, and the real Indians don't look like these mongoloid, Indians that they've showed us. The real Indians look like you and I, sir. Especially Florida is full of Indian names of the land and all of that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? Really, all across America is full of Indian. They didn't even change a lot of the names. And I dare say that a lot of these cities where they talk about Tartaria and all this type of shit, I don't know if you're if you're educated about that, but I believe that's shit that we built, the so-called Indians, and they would have you believe that we came up in teepees and all this type of shit, where we had advanced buildings and all of this type of shit. But yeah, why would you come here? There's all these millions of people. You want to enslave them. All you got to do is separate them from the generation before them. When you have a new generation of children, separate them from the next generation. They don't know where the fuck they from.
Yeah, most def.
You
Most def.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like you said, I'm African American as far as I know.
Yeah.
You see, as
Yeah.
far as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that Marcus was in on anything, but he could have these fucking Masonic fucking motherfuckers out here. They're very manipulative, and they definitely out here playing chess. And yeah, they definitely want us to dispossess the land. I say the black man is the original man of the planet Earth. So in that sense, yes, Marcus is right. We are red, black, and green all over the planet Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if that necessarily means Africa, because again, the whole civilization started in Africa. That's a white man's thing. That's a evolutionary Freudian type of thing that they try to talk about. And when they say that that civilization started there, they're talking about some sort of monkeyish type of person that we never were. You see what I'm saying? We were never Neanderthals as original people. So for them to come and say, civilization started in Africa, that's to promote their evolutionary bullshit. And yeah, just something to think about. You know what I mean? Hang on.
All night thinking about that, brother.
Teacher Maria said, Ja Rule school is bad. I don't like it. Okay, we will find out what's bad about it. Jemro said, Pan-Africanism isn't about slavery. Indigenous Americans were African as Africans traveled the world for thousands of years before colonialism. Maybe we should use pan-indigenous instead, given this. Okay. I mean, there's some people that say that even, the word African is not our word. You know what I mean? That refers to this dude, Africanus, some fucking European dude or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, maybe we are pan-indigenous. I don't know. All that being said, Marcus Garvey, at the time of what he was doing, is a shining example for self-determination.
Yeah.
Right. Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
On many levels, because again, I only knew about organizations like the UNIA and Black Star Line.
The Black Cross Nurses.
The what?
Black Cross Nurses.
The Black Cross Nurses. Yeah, wait, hold up. That's something else he started, right? The Black Cross or something like that.
Motor Corp. Man, it was so many auxiliary groups within the UNIA. Going back to you had the African Legions as well. Man, right. So many subgroups within the UNIA, under the umbrella of the UNIA. Yeah.
Do you know how many people were in his organization at its height?
Oh man, that's a good question. I
know it was a very large number.
What you thinking though? What, millions, thousands?
I think it might have been in the light millions. Definitely in the hundreds of thousands, I believe.
Yeah.
I definitely believe it was in the hundreds of thousands. It was, because that parade was like the crowning jewel, I believe. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was them really showing out. Like, yo, we're at our height right now. We need to fucking strut down 25th and let these motherfuckers know.
Man, black people had never seen anything like that in their lives, man. Black people uniformed, just organized in a militant style, prideful like that, man. That's what we need today, to be honest. A parade like that wouldn't hurt us right about now. You know what I mean?
Right. Especially the discipline that a military uniform gives off. You know what I mean? Like, and the discipline that it takes to wear it and to walk with it in pride and all of that type of shit. Like people was drilling and all of that. And I believe that's another thing that, the Nation of Islam incorporated
Yeah.
From Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is definitely set the foundation for a lot of you know, foundational Black American organizations, certain tenets within it. But then it's funny though that he was inspired and again in tune by Booker T. So it all comes back like man sharpens man, steel sharpens steel.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's almost like when we talking about this hip hop shit. I don't know if you've been following the whole debate about it, but yeah, we as foundational Black Americans, man, we definitely set the tone. Like, all right, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Marcus Garvey, yes, he was a leader of Black people all over the world, right?
Yeah.
But when did he really take off? When he became popular in America.
Yeah.
When he became popular in America, because when he came, he wasn't popular in Jamaica when he came over here.
Yeah.
When he came over here and became popular, that's what made him set fire across the world.
Yeah.
Because we have to understand that we as foundational Black Americans have a certain power that nobody else has. I'm sorry. We can talk about the motherland and all of that type of stuff, but yet we don't see the same influence that we as foundational Black Americans have on the rest of the world. So when he came over here and had a message that resonated with us, we said, okay, Marcus, we rocking with you. You know what I mean? And we held him up to the point where everybody else said, oh shit. Even the Jamaicans now is looking like, oh shit, he's one of ours. First of all, your Jamaican accent was great. Like I wasn't sure at first what you were. You know what I mean?
Like Jamaican mixed with Jamaican African. I was trying to stay along there. So if I went out of Jamaica, you could at least say, okay, that got to be African. Or if it went out of Africa,
and that's why I wasn't sure if you were gonna be, FBA, but I'm very happy that you are. But
that blows people's minds. Like when they hear me talk, my accent, especially like when I go to Jamaica and like when we do screenings in the UK and all that, like they expect that to be my accent. Then they hear me talk, they're like, "Oh, what's up, brother?" But yeah, man, definitely.
So, I mean, what else you got going on? What's the next? When was this movie made, and how long has it been out? Because
man, we completed it, I say in 2023, maybe, or maybe I know. Well, initially we finished in 2022. We went back in 2023 for pickups. Well, we raised money and then went back into pickups, and then we did the festival circuit. And it was a slow start. I can't even lie. Like where it is now, bro. Like we knew it would someday get to where it is, but God, it took a while because people were just telling us no. Instantly from the gate, like, and I'm talking about Black film festivals as well. Like I'm talking about pro-Black. In fact, like festivals that had Black Star in their name, like was just telling us no. So man, we just kept trucking, kept pushing, and honestly, bro, it was popular. It got popular first internationally. Then I don't know what happened, but here people started jumping on board. But our first few screenings were in Jamaica, man. Jamaica, I believe, in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And our first screening in the States was in Detroit. And from Detroit, it just took off. But yeah, man.
Have you had one here in New York yet?
Yeah, we've been in New York a couple of times. We were at the Hip Hop Film Festival. I think it's called the Hip Hop Film Fest.
Yes, it is. Okay.
We actually got a couple of awards from there. I know they were at the Queens Underground Film Festival, and we were just up there the film was just up there not too long ago for a screening in Harlem, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we've been to New York a few times, man. We literally got a map just dotting out all the places that we've been, man, and it's just surreal and it's crazy, especially like the international attention. I'm just from Miami, Florida, bro. I'm from the I'm from the trenches, like we say, and now being recognized on an international scale, not by Hollywood ain't backing me. I'm not being praised or put on the forefront by Netflix or these major studios. Like, this is straight from my mind. You know what I mean? The work and the acting, that's straight me. It's no powerhouse behind that. It's just me. But the fact that we're making an impact in different places, different countries, like they want to hear me. They want to talk to me. I'm Marcus Garvey. I'm the spirit of Marcus Garvey to them. That shit's surreal every freaking day, bro. Like I said on my Instagram, I shook the world and my life ain't been the same since. And that's exactly what it's been. So I'm truly grateful, bro. But it's definitely been a slow grind. You know how it is, man. It's definitely been a slow grind with it. And I'm glad that you brought up the point that 50K. Like I said, like, it ain't no major studio, no major. We did it just like Garvey. You know, we asked for support from people who believed in what we were doing, but also who had a passion and desire to see the legacy of Marcus Garvey go forward, and they invested into it and provided resources for us. And shoot, we got it cracking from there. But it definitely wasn't easy.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood calls.
Yeah.
Brother, we got 50 million to do this Marcus Garvey movie.
How you say it like that?
Right. We got 50 million, right?
Yeah.
Thing is, you know, we're gonna need a scene where Marcus kisses another man.
Shit.
You doing it?
Fuck no. I wouldn't fuck no. I wouldn't even survive doing that. They would fucking take me off the face of the earth. You know how it is, bro. Fuck no.
Like, seriously, you can't necessarily get a project greenlit these days within the regular system without doing some sort of suspect, leftist progressive nonsense, and we know what that is. Like, you know what I mean? All this, homosexual, trans embracing foolishness, they incorporate that into everything. The most gangsterist shit, whatever the case may be, they make sure that they put some sort of character in there that embraces that lifestyle to try to force that upon you. So it's like a lot of people, who want to be in the film industry that have certain morals. We can't even go on certain auditions.
No,
bro. They wanted me to audition back in the days. They wanted me to audition after I did Oz. They wanted me to audition for?
What's that?
They wanted me to audition for Omar on The Wire. Are you familiar with that character, or are you too young? You might be too young.
No. Come on now.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember though. His storyline. His storyline.
He was played. Michael K. Williams ended up playing him. He was a gangster. He was like a Debo of the hood, but he was a homosexual.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he had like graphic tongue kissing scenes with men and all that type of shit.
Wow.
And I didn't even go to that audition. I was like, absolutely not. I don't even want to fucking have the I don't even want to have the fucking y'all try to give me this and put that pressure on. Nah, I'm not even going for this shit. We're not even gonna get to that point where you try to bribe me with the money. Nah, I'm not doing none of that shit. So I say that to say, this is why we have to do our own shit, man. People like us have to write our own shit, and I'm, that's something that I definitely need to get in, explore, or be exposed to people like yourself that might have great stories that, because I'm getting on my directing shit as well.
As you should. You're an OG, brother.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've been studying, lenses and all this type of shit, and how this shit work, lighting and all that type of shit. So, I say that to say, but I gotta have something to shoot. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
need something to shoot, and good stories are not just something that, you can just easily come by,
Yeah.
and writing a good story has a skill to it,
Yeah.
and but if we learn that skill and now start telling our stories that we want to tell,
It's there,
we
bro.
can be very successful.
It's there. Like I tell people all the time, bro, that like, especially like for black writers or black artists, like we think that shit, we have to tell a narrative or a story that's just far from our reality. Like we got to go out and create this masterful thing from outer space. Like it's our own stories, bro. That's most potent. You know what I mean? Because as long as you write and you express from the heart and from real life experiences, shit, you're gonna connect to somebody out there. And more realistically, you're going to connect to a few people out there. You know what I mean? And that's what makes the work excellent. Everything that I've created, it's been from my own experience, from Lotus all the way up to Mosiah. It's just been straight from the heart. That Lotus, like just going back to Lotus shit, I was the Lotus. That's where that story came from. I came from the inner city and I chose education as my way out. And that's been one of my most prominent pieces of work. Like people appreciate that shit all over. So, yeah, man, of course, just like the technical stuff, like getting it formatted and all that stuff. But as far as where the stories come from, man, that shit is right here in the heart. And it's what we go through every day. See, the thing is, especially with us, like, especially for black people who come from where we come from, we think that our fucking stories aren't valuable. We think that shit, man, everybody living like that. I go outside, Tyreek living the same fucking life. We don't glorify this, but we don't know that shit. Our story is valuable. And even though it may seem like it ain't a lot to us, there's fucking life lessons. There's valuable diamonds in the lives that we live. And just by expressing that, you can influence the next person off of that, and inspire. So, yeah, man, we just got to stay to here. Like going back to like the Hollywood shit, like we want to be validated. We want to go and be stars and we want to be on all these. No, man, that shit, if we keep it to ourselves and we stay true and real to ourselves, bro, we will be as prosperous as we want to fucking be. You know what I mean?
So what else do you have planned after? Do you have other things that you're writing right now, other things that you're shooting?
Yeah. Yeah, I go based off of life. So I just finished, well, we're in post-production for a project called Boys Cry 2. And it's just my experience with newfound fatherhood, not newfound, but this new life of fatherhood. And I'm just using that to show the father dynamic with the son, the black father dynamic. Like we had there's this stigma of black men not being there for their sons, or we don't give a fuck. Like when situations happen and the mother and the father separates, we just be like, all right, go on about your business. I'm gonna do mine. But we don't highlight or emphasize the black men, what we go through in those type of situations, how we do try to be there for our fucking children, or we do love our children. We do have the same worries and stresses and pressures that the mother has, but society give a fuck? No, not so often. And so with this project, I'm being real to that and expressing and showing that shit. We do. There's a guy out there in the world. His name is Avery in the film. He loves his son more than anything in the fucking world. And just the fact of him being apart from his son is tearing him down, and he has to find strength from within to overcome that, but also find strength to ultimately be a better father for his child. And that's what I'm going through right now in real life. You know what I mean? Like I said, I talk anything that I write other than Mosiah. I ain't Mosiah. Now I'm Mosiah in a sense, but anything that I write or anything I put out into the world, brother, is straight from my real life. And that's the legacy I leave behind. Shit. I can pass away tomorrow or the day after, right? But when my art is here, and when people go back and look at my art, they will know my life from that. More importantly, shit, my child, my son now, he would know my life from my work. Is clear and sure as he goes to go look for it, and just like for anybody else. But yeah, Boys Cry 2, that's my next project. Thankfully, now that I'm international, I can get that out there and try to change some lives and change some perspectives and mindsets of some of us black folks in different countries. But also more Marcus Garvey stuff, man. I'm working on a one-man show. I got a couple of scripts coming from of the perspective of Marcus Garvey that I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to get some money to do a feature film. Yeah, man, I'm always working. I'm always.
Well, listen, man, we need to stay connected.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think we on a similar path as far as that's concerned.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. Listen, I encourage everybody, man, go check out this movie on Amazon Prime, Mosiah.
Yeah.
Now, is Lotus on there as well? Where can they see Lotus at?
Lotus is on Tubi. It's on
On Tubi. Okay.
Lotus is on Tubi. Yep.
All right. I hope it's better than a lot of that other Tubi.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
I think it is. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, no,
I don't think you're doing that crazy Tubi shit.
Yeah. It ain't no camera shaking and
beards coming off and all kind of crazy shit.
No, we quality over here, bro.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
I trust you. Yeah. So where could people find you? Where could they follow you? Shit like that.
Yeah, man. Instagram, Samual Lee Fudge. Facebook, Samual Lee Fudge. SamuelLeeFudge.com. Literally anything social media wise, Samual Lee Fudge. I'm there. I'm there. You can find me there.
Now we got to address this. Damn it! Since you were young, I'm sure with a name like Fudge.
Yeah, I went through it.
You've been getting fudged around for a long time.
Oh, imagine being. Remember, I told you I was chubby. So chubby, dark skin,
chubby chocolate
bro,
child with the last name Fudge.
It was always. I hated the first day of school. Was always the worst for me. The first day of school,
the teacher got to announce your name,
the whole fucking name. So it's everybody, and I used to dread when she gets to the F's. Ferguson.
You're gonna be at the end of the F's because it's a U.
Yeah. Then it gets to Fudge, and then they always do the same Fudge, Samuel Fudge.
Like a question instead of
class goes crazy. So that was after like the first week of school, you good because it turns into a cool nickname. But first day of school was always the worst, especially at a new school. Like going from elementary to middle school to high school. College it was cool. It
is a cool name. Like Fudge, that's my man Fudge. Like, but as a little kid,
no.
Nah.
What made it look cool? Higher Learning. Ice Cube's character was Fudge.
Oh, word?
Yeah, and Higher Learning. Ice Cube's character.
I don't even remember that.
That shit made me feel better about it because that was like, I used that. I was like,
and Ice Cube's cool. Hey, that's Ice Cube's name. Hey, don't you snap on me. You know that was Ice Cube and Higher Learning, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, what in the fudge is going? Well, listen, brother, this was great to have you on. First of all, what made you shout out to King Simon? What made you reach out and want to come on the God Pod? Don't tell me that the God Pod is like known in conscious circles and people like know that the soil is here. Is that
yeah, absolutely. No, shout out to King Simon first, man. Shout out to King Simon, beautiful brother, man. Great spirit, bro. He took me in like family. We linked up when he was here. Well, we linked up in Atlanta. He's out here, and he took me to New Wall Street, the Black Wall Street, here in I think it's Conyers, Stonecrest, and we just been cool ever since. We actually got something. If he still remembers, bro, we got something that we need to be doing in August for Marcus Garvey's birthday. But yeah, man, just checking out your interviews, brother, and seeing how you move and how you step, brother, is very admirable. And I was just like, I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, King, bro, can you think that you can link me up with Lord Jamar? Here go the number. He said, hit him up. I like, oh shit. And then, bro, talking to you, bro, and you being how you are, you know what I mean? Like, that's ordained. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think everything has a purpose and cause, and a reasoning. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing coincidental, brother. And how you've been accepting of me, and first most how you appreciate my work. Like I keep telling you that shit is. I honor that and I appreciate that so much. shit, you make it legit, you solidify it. It's product, it's good product.
And I ain't asked for no free links. I went and rented the shit just like y'all need to rent it and put some money in these people's pocket. Okay. So yeah, that's how we working. Yeah, man said this nigga look like, he said the hood Garvey. That's only right. And trust me, when you see him in the movie and he got the gear on and he's much more I mean, you just got to watch his performance because it's he draws you in with, you know, you can, like I said earlier, you could tell he has a theatrical background. So he really draws you in with his presence, you know, and the seriousness. And you can just tell that, you know, something is surging through Marcus Garvey as well as the actor who's playing him in this moment. I'm
quoting that,
and although it's not a super full-length feature, I'm telling you it's probably going to lead to that. It definitely can. It just needs the right people behind it to back it. You need conscious people with money, you know what I mean? There's a couple conscious millionaires out there. We just got to find these motherfuckers and shake them upside down, you know what I mean? But they out there. And that's what this needs, because we don't need nobody telling you that Marcus Garvey need to be doing some crazy shit on the Black Star Line. We don't need that going on. So wait, before we go, Marcus Garvey was convicted of mail fraud. Could you tell the people exactly what it was they said he did?
Used the promotion of selling stocks of the Black Star Line to manipulate people and to steal money, basically. And you will see it in the film when y'all watch. Benny Dancy. So the only piece of evidence that actually nailed Marcus Garvey to this bogus fucking crime or charge was an empty envelope with the letters of the UNIA on it. And Benny Dancy's testimony, he couldn't even remember or recall how many shares he bought exactly. He didn't even know how many envelopes he received from Marcus Garvey of the Black Star Line. He couldn't even pinpoint who sent it to him. But it was.
And this guy was like a plant from what, the FBI or the CIA?
Benny Dancy was the no, I'm not going to disrespect him, but Benny Dancy was the gentleman who they found and got to testify against Marcus Garvey. James Wormley Johnson, if I'm saying his name correctly, who was known as Agent 800, he infiltrated the UNIA and befriended Marcus Garvey and worked his way through the UNIA, of course, and ultimately was the person who was giving the intel to Hoover. James Wormley Johnson was the first African-American hired by the FBI, which was the BOI at that time. And he was fair-skinned and was intentionally and solely hired just to infiltrate infiltrate the UNIA and tarnish or eradicate the purpose of the Black Star Line. So it was those two gentlemen solely, three gentlemen, because you could say Hoover as well, but James Wormley Johnson, Agent 800 Jack to the UNIA, and Benny Dancy's testimony that ultimately brought Marcus Garvey down for a bogus fucking charge that we know now from back in February, the pardon by Joe Biden gives somewhat of innocence to the situation, or a little bit of exoneration, not full exoneration. He's still not fully exonerated from it, but the pardon is a gesture to somewhat say, okay, this guy was innocent. But the transcripts are there. Majority of the film, especially those court scenes, they come from the actual transcripts of the trial. So all that stuff is there. But ultimately, it was just a bogus trial. It was bogus evidence. The testimonies were crazy.
I love how Marcus fired his fucking lawyer and said, "I'll represent myself, you bitch ass nigga."
Yeah. He represented himself, bro. He represented himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
but they try to play him at every turn. Y'all, listen, y'all go watch the movie, man. Go watch the movie, man. And when you pull up, you tell them Lord J sent you, man. You heard?
Most definitely.
But listen, I definitely appreciate you coming through, and this is not going to be your last time on here. Definitely like to have you back and keep us abreast of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Enough respect to you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. That means a lot, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, Samual Lee Fudge. Thank you, my bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace. Okay. That was all right, man. That's a good young man right there. Good young man. Samual Lee Fudge. Like I said, I put in the description. You could check the movie out. I put it in the description. Let's see. We got some. Yemro said, you may not see the influence externally, and he's talking about Africa, but the influence is certainly felt in resources extracted from the African continent to supply the world. Cobalt, uranium, crude oil, diamonds, iron, etc. Yeah, that's true. There's influence as far as their natural resources, but I'm talking about the people. That's what I was talking about. But thank you, Jemro. Charlie said, hey, yo, Samuel, was Lotus really based on your life? He said yes. MRP, Lord Jamar, you shouldn't. Lord Jamar, you sounded hurt when MC Shan was giving Kendrick Lamar his flowers last week. Apologize to K. Dot now. Shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody sound hurt. Legendary Top Cats. Peace. How are you, King? He said, peace, God. Garvey was funded to push back to Africa by a white man, Ernest Sevier Cox, who wrote the book White America. They funded the Black Star Line and Garvey work on a plantation in Costa Rica. Listen, Top Cats, you know, the young man, I know he has a reverence for Garvey, so didn't want to go too hard. Okay. But there's things that, and I know about Garvey, and the young man will learn in time. But right now, let him, we letting him do his thing. The movie's a great movie, and yeah, a lot of people are flawed. A lot of people are flawed. A lot of our people that, we had a romantic looking up to, sometimes it's like, oh man, really? Like when you find out the truth. But you gotta, like I said, you gotta go where the truth takes you, man. And you can't allow, your heart and all of that to keep you in a certain place. So yes, Top Cats, you're right. But I think that's a little too heavy to drop on the young man. But he gonna learn. He gonna learn. And we all gonna learn. There's a lot of shit that I see people need to be spoon-fed very slowly because they're not ready to digest certain things. But I appreciate you, Top Cats. And yes, I know we've said this in the past. I need to get you on here because, your name definitely rings bells in the space of, us being original people of this land. Many people tell me I need to talk to Top Cats. So we gotta make that happen. And we will make that happen. But thank you. I appreciate you, Top Cats. So anyway, yeah. I would have been amiss though to not bring that up to the young man, that this whole Pan-Africanism thing is, you know, basically something to try to get us to dispossess our land. And we not doing that shit. Legendary said, nah, salute to the brother and his vision. That's right. That's right. Because, you know, he got this shit done, man. You know what I mean? He got that shit done. That shit is on Amazon Prime right now. And y'all can go check it out. But listen, it's Friday night. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here and do what y'all gotta do. I just wanted y'all to get exposed to the young brother and to a movie that you may not have known even existed. And now you know, thanks to the God Pod, that there is a Marcus Garvey movie out there. It's available on Amazon Prime, and it's called Mosiah, starring the good brother Samuel Lee Fudge. I'm out. I'll be back next week. That's right, flat power. And you will never sink my boat with your bullshit water. Peace. Absolutely, the earth is flat, cocksucker. Yeah. I love y'all.